Flip it like it's hot.
Hi, and welcome to GeekTalk episode number 8. My name is Caroline, I'm a content creator here at WebinarGeek, and today I've got with me
Jan Willem, content creator at WebinarGeek.
and of course we have another guest on the couch today, which is...
Tim, I'm a technical support engineer at WebinarGeek, and I also process all the feature requests and all the feedback for the new streaming app.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're one of our customers and you ever had some kind of issue, whatever, you've probably spoken to Tim right here. Yeah. So, Tim, I have a question for you. Before we start with everything else, what makes you a geek?
What makes me a geek? Yeah, so many little things, I guess. Because when I started at WebinarGeek, I mean, I always felt a little nerdy. I like the whole sci-fi part and all the stereotypical things, I guess. But things that WebinarGeek that really define WebinarGeek. I mean, we play Mario Kart at least once a week, I guess. Big tournaments. That made me kind of part of the crew, I guess. And that's that kind of informal atmosphere, I guess, is kind of what makes me feel like bonded with my colleagues.
Yeah.
Do you game often outside work as well?
Well, not as much as I used to.
I
I grew up with games, and I grew up behind a computer anyway. So
Yeah.
But that's
Any
that's
games
long
in
gone.
particular?
Yeah.
Or style games? Game style?
Well, I'll tell you, way back when there was mostly online RPGs, so the classics, World of Warcraft, and you used to play Tibia, but that's even further back.
Tibia.
Yeah, that's
I don't know that.
yeah. You need to look that up. It's
I know a very old one. It's called Civilization.
no, I haven't played that, but that's that does ring a
Or
bell. Yeah.
the one which was pretty famous is Red Alert.
Of course,
Yeah, of course.
Who
Yeah,
doesn't know Red Alert? But
Yeah.
it's
Two.
Command and Conquer.
Command and Conquer,
That's
exactly.
where it started. Yeah. So
Nice.
it's,
It's all before my time.
Yes, yeah. I'm
This was
pretty
the
old.
90s. You were born in the 90s.
I was born in the 90s, so
Yeah.
it was before my time. The only thing I remember was playing Doom.
Doom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just listening to the soundtrack of Doom Eternal. It's,
Really?
It's so epic. It
Of
really,
course you
really,
would.
really go hard. They even have a workout playlist. You should really listen to it. You're just
Really?
bulking way harder than without the Doom Eternal playlist. Trust
Oh.
me.
Maybe we
Okay.
should listen to it this afternoon.
Yeah.
Or the,
Yeah. I mean, we have to work out in
Few
2 hours.
Few hours.
So, yeah.
Doom Eternal it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Maybe we'll
Okay.
put that on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Put that
Right.
on the list for today. Yeah.
So, games.
Games, I guess that's pretty major definition of
Nice.
my geekiness, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we do play a lot of games here. Of course, we Mario Kart and FIFA, which, I mean, we don't play FIFA a lot anymore, but it's mostly Mario Kart right here. And we have a whole tournament and stuff
Yeah,
like
we
that.
have the leagues. I think I'm currently even in the A League, so I'm at right at the top. So
No way!
yeah, I think
yeah?
so.
wow.
You're a famous racer here on the couch.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
What I also loved is that there was a moment, there was like this game only for people at WebinarGeek. You remember? You had to run around and in some kind of level. There was this Friday afternoon. Everybody had to jump into the game. Don't you remember?
Oh, yeah, I
No,
remember.
that's
Everybody
before
had
my-
his
it's
own
before my time.
avatar.
Yeah, I think.
No, it
I never
wasn't-
played, so I have no idea what it looks like. But
that's
I
pretty
do
fun.
remember that after the Friday,
After Friday
after the
monthly
meeting,
yeah.
we had a game, and everyone had to jump into the game after the meeting ended. And
Yeah, that was it.
that's my extent of
Okay,
knowledge. I don't know.
That's pretty
I don't know much
pretty
more
extensive.
about
Yeah, I had to jump into the game. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that
it.
doesn't ring a bell, but yes,
Okay.
could be me.
Well, maybe it was.
Maybe that was
before your
wasn't that the
time.
Christmas thingy? Maybe.
No. I
Yeah,
think it
okay,
was
yeah.
before that even,
All right.
but I don't really remember.
Cool story.
Yeah, I know. Very short story.
Very short story. Should have been there.
All right, so let's continue before we talk more random stuff. As a technical support engineer, you have a lot of conversations with customers. They give a lot of feedback because that's what our customers do. They have a lot of things to say. They have a lot of thoughts about our app and about our website and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they give a lot of feedback.
Thank God that they do. Yeah.
Yeah, we really appreciate that, by the way. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
keep the feedback incoming. But how how do we process that feedback? What do we do with that feedback? Because I can imagine we have a lot of people give feedback and they're like, okay, I'm not sure if whatever I'm saying right now will be picked up or something will be done with it. So what do we do with feedback?
Yeah, it is always there's kind of balance between the amount of requests we get, but also how much time something costs, I guess. But the biggest role for me is to make it kind of like insightful. No, that's not the correct word. I mean, kind of have an overview of, hey, does this all have like a specific request, or is this something that we get asked a lot? And if so, does that involve a lot of work? Or and I have meetings with the team, with the development team, to say, hey, I get a lot of questions like this one. Is that something we could do? Is it something that costs a lot of time? Is it something that's on the roadmap anyway? Because that's so there's always a little balance between having like the tech support role, having like insights in what's coming or what's not coming or definitely not coming or stuff we could do. So
do you see there often a lot of like ideas that surprise you, or are they often like how do you say, like more like solutions that are evident?
Well, I mean, me as a technical support, I mean, I have my own ideas as well, of course, because there's stuff I can think, hey, well, why aren't we doing this already? I mean, this is so obvious, but there's really so much feedback that we get that thinks, hey, this is logical. But we never thought about this. I mean, I think every company kind of has their own, kind of, how do you
own vision.
Like vision or
we're a little bit like a tunnel vision. Well, this is the idea that we have, this is what we're going to do. So that's where the value for external feedback from our customers is great ideas that we never thought about. And that's why we opened up the streaming app, the beta, which we started, I think, like well over a month ago. I mean, almost 2 months now.
Almost 2 months.
And that's where we really kind of started. We got in touch with our customers, people that are just subscribed to wanting to be part of that beta, to get their ideas, to get their workflows and the stuff that they kept running into pretty much when they were using the app. So
I was wondering, because last time we spoke with Matthijs, of course, full stack developer, had a lot to do with the new streaming app, but I also know you had a lot to do with the new streaming app. So as a technical support engineer, what was your job with the new streaming app? Because of course you deal with a lot of feedback, and how did that feedback come into the new streaming page, and how did we process all that, and what kind of feedback did we take to the new streaming page?
Matthijs, obviously he's been working on a lot longer on the new streaming app. So I got into the project around September, where my role was primarily to receive feedback and to gather it and to package it pretty much, as in, hey, what feedback can we do, or what can we process into something usable, or is it could be usability, because there was a lot of feedback on kind of expectations from the app. Hey, if I do this, why doesn't it do that? Because that makes sense, right? So that's more of kind of the usability things, but also obviously with any new introduction of software, you always have a little, maybe some technical issues, but also like application issues. So receiving that information from our customers and being able to kind of translate that to the development team, that was my role. And trying to keep that in a shortest overview possible, right? So it's like a more of a catalog on, hey, this is feedback we get, and this looks like this. So and packaging it, I guess.
If you think about it right now, what's one of the most memorable pieces of feedback that we've received in the last 3 months?
The last 3 months, wow, that's a bit tricky, because we
narrow it down to the streaming app.
Okay, that's good.
Maybe a little bit easier.
On a Wednesday afternoon.
Not on a Wednesday afternoon.
Please include rainy.
It's tricky, because there's been so many great feedback points. But I guess the most is about all the interactions, because we for the people that are familiar with it, the old streaming out always had to you had the interactions at the bottom, so the polls, the quizzes, and that always caused you to kind of drop down away from the video. And with the new streaming app, that's now at least part of the sidebar, which you can also hide. There's a lot more interactivity going on there, and we both got a lot of positive feedback that works so much better than what it did before, as well as the fact that it's now more part of your kind of flow when you're viewing a webinar. So making that more part of the sidebar and making it less intrusive, I guess, but still a prominent place in your webinar is I think, one of the most requested, but also more the most prominent feedback that we got. Most prominent features.
Nice. I like that.
That's me
Awesome.
too. Yeah.
And I mean, you did great work in the last couple of months, and
I hope so.
I mean, I've seen some of the feedback and the requests that we've gotten, and people are very excited about the new streaming
it's
app.
good to see, indeed.
I mean, it's always kind of twofold, because you always get the feedback on, hey, this should be different than what it is now, but we also got so much feedback that the way it's working now is so much better than it is before.
Exactly.
So it's not always negative. It's always it's already really positive as well. That's
and I mean,
so great to see.
the feedback about things that should change or could be better is still really valuable, of course.
Of course, I mean, this is it's a living product. I mean, it's not like, hey, this is what we released. We're not going to do anything about it the next few years. So. We're constantly evolving or developing to make even a better product than it already is. So, it's going to be so much better in the coming years as well, because we have so many ideas that we still need to get into the product.
It's actually pretty cool, because feedback is not only like improving your product, but it also serves like this free brainstorming mechanism that you actually get a lot of ideas from customers.
Absolutely.
They do the brainstorming also for you.
I mean, and we tried to do some sessions with customers as well. So hey, you exactly. Gave us some feedback. Can you elaborate on that? Can you? It's not working as you would like it to be, but what is your idea with how should it work for you?
And it's also about like understanding the reason, or like. They probably drop something, but it's like the understanding what they are really like looking for. Maybe it can be something else that what they are saying.
Right, and that's
thought about it.
That's kind of the part of the translation. I mean, they can complain about something they can complain about something not working or not working as they think it should work. But, we need to translate that into, hey, maybe there's something wrong, or maybe it's more of a usability thing. Maybe we need to make it more clear on how it functions.
Or it exists in another form.
Or maybe we need to overhaul it entirely and make something else out of it, because that's kind of the translation part of the communication that's going on. And that's and I think that's really interesting, because we get both negative and positive feedback.
Exactly.
So some customers may like a functionality, and the other customer might hate it. So there's
cool.
Awesome. I'm really excited to see the streaming app in the next like couple of months, a year from now, to see what it has become.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about that. But
there's a really solid basis already. I mean, there's so much done already. I mean, there's like a year's worth of work already by the whole team, the development team. But we still have years ahead of us as well.
Exactly.
That we can,
there's so much more to come.
So much more we can do and want to do, especially. So
Awesome. So I have one more question before we sign off, because I have an icebreaker for you, which is upside down. I have an icebreaker for you. But before I pull a card, Jan-Willem, care to explain what an icebreaker is?
Yes. How long do I have?
You have
10 seconds.
30 seconds.
No, Icebreaker is a concept which we created for an event in Amsterdam earlier this year, because we were thinking about, when you go into an event, you probably talk to 20, 30, 40 people, but how do you create like a lasting conversation that remains like, when you look through all your business cards, this was the craziest conversation or the best conversation, most valuable that I had. So the icebreakers is that actually, and funny because it involves feedback. On the card is a statement. It's either like there's no good or wrong answer, but it's a statement, and the feedback from the person that is asked the card actually is the first step or the second step in building a conversation that lasts. Is that cryptic enough?
Yeah.
But also explanatory?
Yeah.
So in the middle?
Yeah.
All right.
We're good.
So let's drop one.
We're good. All right. So the card I have pulled for you right now is what is the greatest moment in your life?
The greatest moment in my life.
Yes.
It's a very temporal question, I guess, because there's so much going on at the moment. But
I have to be completely honest. I pulled this card in advance.
Ah.
Because I
that's,
kind of figured out what your answer is going to be, and I want that to be your answer.
yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I have something big coming up. I mean, we're expecting a little girl in April, so that's
Yep.
that's great. But it's not essentially a part already. So I mean, I got married well over 2 years ago. That was a big moment as well. Yeah, all the major milestones you can get, I guess, in life. But we got a very big one coming up.
Yeah. Very
So
excited.
it's very high on the list.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. So cute. All right, that's it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with here on this couch.
Sure.
We love having you here.
Yeah.
I love it too. It's nice and comfy. So,
I know it is, right? It's a very comfortable couch. So I think that's it, right, for this
Right.
one. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and we will hope to see you on the next one. Bye.
See ya.
See ya.